Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the official Big Bang Theory podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Radloff, and it only took 45 episodes for the Big Bang Theory to change forever and for the better when on October 19th, 2009, audiences were introduced to the one and only Dr. Bernadette Rostenkowski, eventual Wolowitz, played by the amazing Melissa Rauch. And today we are so thrilled to have her back in studio. Please welcome the amazing Melissa Rauch. Welcome back to the podcast. We did a special episode last season, so it is so good to have you in here in our new studio.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Right?
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
We got
I loved
TV
it.
and we got your little Bernadette doll.
Who's taller?
It's a toss-up. It's a real
I've honestly never looked better.
That's
on.
That's very still a toss-up. It's still a toss-up. We were just talking before we started rolling. You have not seen these episodes probably since they've aired. And we're going to talk about them now and then throw to some clips. And
Holy
you're like,
moly.
Oh gosh. And I told Melissa, I was like, well, you can blame me because I picked the clips.
Okay.
So if you don't
I'm very interested to see what they are.
Yes. Well, I am thrilled to have you.
I'm very happy. Right. This is very nice. I got to say, we came in, I can't lie. I can't tell a lie.
Yeah.
We came in, we noticed that my feet didn't reach the floor. So when I first came in, I was like perching and I was deciding if I was going to just swing the whole
like
time.
That.
But they brought in a very nice pillow so that I don't have to, but
listen, anything for you.
It felt like a fraud if I didn't tell you that my feet don't reach the floor.
It's understandable, and these are different kind of chairs that go back. So
that's kind.
That's really, kind. Mine wouldn't either. I can make them.
That's very kind.
Anyway, first I want you to tell me September 15th, 2009. What date does that significance hold for you?
September 9th. Was that?
September 15th, 2009.
Was that? It must have been, was it my first episode or audition?
It was your audition.
My audition.
Your first episode aired on October 19th, 2009. But your first audition
It aired on October 19th?
It aired on October 19th.
Okay.
You went in on September 15th for the audition. I believe it was for the week of September 23rd that they were holding you to come in for the episode.
That is nuts. I remember that email that I got so vividly. I was very much out of work. I was literally at the unemployment office the week that I got that audition and the weeks leading up to it as well. And I remember just being in this state of like, I'm not the most aggressive actor as far as like, doing the hustle. And I remember calling my agents that week, like, I really need to pay my rent. Is there anything I could get out on? And fortunately, even though things were slow at the time, they got me the audition for Big Bang Theory. And I was a fan of the show. My family loved it. And I remember calling my parents and saying, I have an audition for the Big Bang Theory. And so excited, but also thought like, my gosh, it was just such a long shot. And it was just supposed to be for that week.
Do you think if you had not put that call into your agent that you still would have gotten the audition for Big Bang? Really? I hadn't had an audition in months and months. And it's such a lesson, even just to myself, of like, sometimes you gotta put yourself out there and do that hustle for yourself. Because I know that it never would have, I really don't think it would have happened. What was the character description of Bernadette back then? And what made you decide to, I know you brought glasses in. So what made you decide to do that based on what you read about this character?
I'm trying to remember what the exact description was, but it was definitely something like a girl that Howard is going on a date with, who also lives at home with her mother and like very sheltered, a nice Catholic girl. And it also said that I remember that she was a microbiologist.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was also in the description. And it was supposed to be for that week. And like you said, I brought my glasses with me. I had them in my bag and I wasn't sure if I was going to use them or not. And then just sort of, there was so many other women there. And I was just remember looking around the room thinking like, okay, not a lot of people, maybe I'll put these glasses on to sort of differentiate myself. And it was a lot of like last minute decisions. I also like pitched up my voice a little bit.
You did, see, that's what I was wondering is that, did you go in with the Bernadette voice or no?
I did. It wasn't as pitched up as it like eventually became, but it was definitely up there. I had been talking to my mom on the phone before the audition and she has a high pitched voice. And so I sort of had her voice in my head. And I had rehearsed the audition material like both ways, with it pitched up and with it not. And then it was like a game time decision of like classes and to pitch up the voice. And I loved that material, when like, instantly as an actor when you get material that's just so well written and it's just so fun to do. And I remember just being so excited that I got to work on it for that week.
Were these the same glasses that ended up throughout the series, or did they give you other prop glasses?
They gave me other prop glasses, but they were pretty similar.
They were.
The prop glasses I had on Big Bang didn't have actual lenses in them.
Right.
And
because of the glare, and they didn't want that to bounce off. Yeah. Same with Johnny. Johnny didn't have lenses either.
Johnny and I think we have a few pictures of us with us like sticking our fingers through the glasses. Yeah. And I remember once I got the part, the amazing casting directors, Ken and Nikki, they wrote and said, make sure you're bringing your glasses to the table read. Because they were like just to help sell in what you did at the audition.
Wow. Yeah. I wish we should have told your mother that we were going to call her today, because I will never forget the first time I met Melissa's mom, who I adore so much, that voice from Jersey. And I was like, it all makes sense. I love now. That. Like, it's so good. But listening to your mom talk, it's like, okay, now I get where Melissa got the germ of the idea to form this voice, because it really is. It's just great.
I love that. It's Bernadette's voice is very much my mom's voice without the Jersey accent.
Yes.
And then Mrs. Wolowitz's voice, like that tone was just always so familiar to me, because it's very much how like my father's like intonation so much.
I can only imagine what it'd be like to spend Hanukkah at your house. With all
very
these
loud.
People.
Yes. It's very loud.
Okay, so since you were such a fan of the show going into it, you knew then that Howard was the sleaziest of the guys. I mean, this was a womanizer. He just like had sex on his brain all the time. So you're like, okay, I'm going into audition for Howard's girlfriend. What did you think about that, knowing what the character was like already?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited as an actor. I was such a fan of Simon's, and I thought like what he was doing with this part was so great. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this would be such a great contrast to what they have going for this character on the show. And never in a million years would I have thought that it would have continued. Right. And I mean, really in my mind, I think it was like, well, he's not like domestic. They're not going to domesticate this guy. Yeah. So it's going to, just be this one-off. And the fact that it turned into what it did, thank goodness I didn't know. If I had known, I would have bombed that audition so hard, I'm sure. Like the pressure of knowing like, oh my gosh, if I get this, it'll be 10 years on a show. I'm sure I would have tanked it.
You just don't know what your nerves are going to do. Jim Parsons said the same thing. Like, he's like, I don't get excited that much, because you just never know when your nerves are going to take over and what they're capable of doing. So, so it's understandable. But what was going through your mind as you pulled through the Warner Brothers gate on your first day of work?
Oh my gosh. It was very surreal. It was, I remember talking to my parents on the way in and on the drive-in, which I always do, and did for the run of the show, and always call them. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I get to be here for the week. And that I got to say, that feeling never went away. There's not a time that I have drove onto the lot at Warner Brothers and not felt so incredibly grateful. It was just really, really special. Same
here when I come in for the podcast. I'm so excited to always go through the gate, and then I know I'm going to get snacks, and I'm very excited. But it's such a privilege that I always think about. Well, lucky for you, we're going to watch that very first scene from episode 305. Do you remember what the episode was called? I'll pay you $10 if you do.
Oh man.
I know. I mean, you really need that $10. Do you know? You have no idea.
No.
The creepy candy coating. One more C word there.
Coronary.
Corollary.
What is it?
Corollary.
Creepy
yes.
Candy.
The creepy candy coating corollary.
Okay.
You ready to watch yourself? First scene ever. Is Bernadette Rostenkowski?
Oh my gosh. All right, let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. I'm going to hold Bernadette while I watch.
So Penny tells me you're working as a waitress to put yourself through grad school. That's pretty great. What are you studying?
Microbiology.
Oh, cool. So you could study me.
I don't understand.
Microbiology is the study of tiny living things.
I know, I'm studying it.
Yeah, and I said you could study me, because I'm a tiny living thing. It's a joke.
Are you sure?
You like science fiction?
No.
Role-playing games?
Like in the bedroom or like Dungeons and Dragons?
Either.
No.
You like It's gonna be a long night.
What do you think when you see that?
Oh my gosh. It's just such wonderful, wonderful memories. And I remember that scene, anything we did in the car was always a pre-shoot. So my first actual day on camera was the day before our the live show
on Monday.
Yeah. And then my other scene was in the restaurant. So a lot of it was being pre-shot, if not everything. Yeah. And I remember I had never been in front of a live studio audience for a multicam. I'd come from theater, but I had never done this format before. And I remember thinking I want I didn't know if I was going to still get to do the live show. Okay. And I love this so much about what we did at Big Bang, whatever scene, not necessarily a restaurant scene, but scenes we did in the car, we would then reenact in front of the audience on our show night. And so they said, we're going to do this today and we're going to get everything we need, but then we want you to do this scene in front of the audience. And that was so thrilling. And I also think what's interesting is because they hadn't tried me out necessarily in front of the audience.
Right.
It was not until after we did the scene in front of the live audience that I then found out that I was going to come back for another episode. But I remember reenacting that scene. They would set up these little folding chairs in front of, front of the studio audience. And it was a first time going out in front. And I'm sure you've talked about this at great length, but the studio audience, the Big Bang studio audience, nothing like it. The passion, just the enthusiasm was electric. And I remember sitting in there in these folding chairs and Chuck would come and sit in front of us in the folding chairs. And I just remember sitting there and hearing his wonderful laugh while we enacted that. And I remember just falling so deeply in love with this format and so deeply in love with just being there with these people. And I was thinking oh my gosh, I just want this to last forever. And then I remember them saying okay, we're done, we're moving on. And I just remember I want this to last forever. And then I remember I had got a call in my dressing room shortly after that saying they're pinning you for these other weeks to come back, and just praying that it was going to happen.
Oh, it's so incredible. I was wondering though, because you did have your first scene in the back of a car and you had a lot of car scenes early on, was that actually easier than having to, I know it's your job as an actor to walk and talk and do things, but to just for the first introduction, just be sitting in a chair where you can't really move.
That is nice. That is nice. It is very contained. But I think what I remember most about those car scenes is, when you're shooting things like that, and it was the same when we were also on set too, but it's a little more intimate, and just the in between. I think that's what always has stayed with me the most about this experience is as I'm watching it, I'm also thinking about as we were waiting for the next setup and the next angle, just sitting there and hanging out with those people that I love and just having such a wonderful time.
So fun. Well, thank God when you guys get to the restaurant after the car ride, things start to go better between Bernadette and Howard, because this was not off to a good start already. Right. So let's watch the clip when you guys get to the restaurant and you find out that you have something very interesting in common.
Okay.
I know how you feel. My mother makes me crazy.
Not as crazy as my mother makes me.
Oh, yeah? Does your mother call you every day at work to see if you've had a healthy lunch?
My mother calls me at work to see if I had a healthy bowel movement.
Okay, well, does she lay out your clothes for you in the morning like you're 9 years old?
You live with your mother?
No, that's the sad part.
Okay, check this out. My mother made me wear rubber gloves to kindergarten so I wouldn't pick up a disease from the other children.
That's nothing. I couldn't ride a bicycle because my mother was afraid I'd hit a bump and lose my virginity.
Wow. You didn't, did you?
Not on a bicycle. In a Camry.
Corolla! More wine?
I'd love some.
Listen, you have to come to Shabbos dinner at my house sometime.
Why?
What, a Catholic girl like you wearing a big cross like that might just give my mother the big brain aneurysm I've been hoping for.
Okay, but only if you come to Sunday dinner at my house wearing a yarmulke.
It's a date.
I love it so much. By the way, is your hair red there?
It was like brownish with some like, I think it had a few red highlights. It went through a few different stages there.
Because you know what's so funny is I remember, God, I'm gonna blank on this, but it was seasons 1 or 2 where Ricky Lindholm was on and she couldn't have blonde hair because Penny had blonde hair. So she had red hair. And then only when she came back in season 10, the end of it, I believe, she could have her blonde hair. So I was curious if that was something like, did you have blonde hair and they said we should have it darker for this because they were still a little scared to have another blonde on the show?
No, that was what I was rocking at that time.
Okay.
I couldn't afford highlights.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
A mix of like me trying to do stuff myself. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then I think there was like another job in between that then like I ended up going like a little blonde for. And
I love that you're still holding your Bernadette doll.
I'm never letting it go. It's making me just feel so large.
Oh, so large.
Yes. Like I've never felt taller in my life.
Blanket.
No, it's really nice.
Okay.
It's like holding a chicken wing. It makes me feel like a giant.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Yeah. As I was going through all the episodes again and taking notes, I'm literally writing down, I'm like, the hair color is a little different.
That's really interesting.
And then it gets a little bit blonder as we go on into different
That's
seasons.
so true. That's really
I wondered if that was something that they dictated.
that was my natural hair at the time.
That was your thing. And then you could go to the salon and get your actual clip. You said that you found out in that episode that you were going to come back for another one, but it was 4 more episodes until you came back for your second appearance. It was episode 309.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I was worried for you because I was like, oh God, did she have to wait 4 weeks to find out she'd be coming back? But at least you knew at this time.
Yes.
You were coming back. You were going to probably domesticate Howard Wolowitz at this point because this character had some life to her. In the second episode, we find out that Bernadette and Wolowitz have now been on 3 dates. They haven't slept together, which is kind of annoying to Bernadette. It's almost like she is the female version of Howard in some ways. So let's watch that clip, which you can see the full thing on HBO Max, of course, and then we'll talk about it.
Look, Howard, this is our 3rd date, and we both know what that means.
We do.
Sex.
You're kidding.
But I need to know whether you're looking for a relationship or a one-night stand.
Okay, just to be clear, there's only one correct answer, right? I mean, it's not like chicken or fish on an airplane.
Maybe you need to think about it a little.
You know, it's not unheard of for a one-night stand to turn into a relationship.
Call me when you figure it out.
3 dates means sex? Oh no.
He has never met a woman like Bernadette Rostenkowski before. By the way, what did you think of that name when you found out that was the last name? I mean, what a mouthful.
Yeah.
I love it. But what a mouthful.
It was pretty great. It's great. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about that scene. How amazing that's how they started out. I just love it so much.
Did you and Simon, I know you guys, of course, do your run-throughs, leading up to the actual episode, but did you guys like take time just alone to go through scenes and talk about your process and work with him since this was so new and you guys had just met?
That's a great question. We really didn't. I think, the show always did such a great job with like making sure that like rehearsal process was protected and everyone got everything they needed.
Yeah.
And he was just so kind and welcoming, like from moment one that like, it just felt like, so natural and easy because we like instantly just became friends. Yeah. And then when I came back, I remember him just like welcome back. So we're so happy to have you back again. But yeah, there wasn't really any like side rehearsal of anything. Like we would, just sort of talk and get to know each other.
Right.
And then other than that, it was just the cast like speed read before our show nights, which was always just so special in the hair and makeup room. Everyone would just like run their lines together.
At what point did you find out that Simon would run up and down the stairs before tape night just to burn off energy and anxiety? And what did you do before a tape night?
It took me a while before I knew that. And then I had, trying to think what my like pre-show, I would have my like, I was very big on like, I packed so much with me every day, like up until the end.
You and I have talked about this. We bring like, Mary Poppins back with us.
Like everything that I could possibly need. I remember at one point, and I also like, I think because I had spent so many years sort of like hustling for jobs, I was always so scared that it might end.
Yeah.
And so I would pack so much up for my dressing room at the end of the day. Like I'd take my computer back and forth, and I'd take like so many things at the end of the day. And I remember at one point, I think it was like season 8 or 9. And like, I remember seeing Chuck like on my way into work with all my things. And he was like, stay a while. Like, you don't need to do this every day. And I was like, I did for my own brain. I do. But I would pack like all my things for show, like my dinner and everything.
Did you bring Tupperware?
There was a lot of Tupperware.
Yeah.
A lot of
so much
food prep.
Food back there. It's like, it's going to go to waste. Just take it with you.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. But it was lots of meal prep that I would have at home for my show night. And I would like usually I was very into meditation at the time. So I would do like a meditation before, lots of like vocal warm-ups, especially like if I was doing Mrs. Wolowitz's voice later on. Carol Ann and I, like, she taught me like some of her vocal warm-ups, and like we would do like all of that, but like but pretty, and then it was always like having dinner with some of the cast members beforehand. I remember like I think it was this episode, because I think it was my second one. Yeah, I think it was this one. I remember in the early days, some of the cast would go to the cafeteria on the lot. And I remember going and getting dinner with some of the guys at the cafeteria and being like, oh my God, I'm sitting at a Warner Brothers cafeteria with the cast of Big Bang Theory. It was really cool.
It's crazy. I just love that you were such a fan before you came into this world. And then you became yourself such a fan favorite. I mean, it's just such a great story.
Thank you. It was
so fantastic.
I still felt like very much like the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, that I like won some sort of like contest to get onto the. I
mean, but I get it. It is. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible. One of my favorite episodes in season 3, because I think you were only in 5 episodes in season 3.
Okay.
But it is when, Bernadette and Howard, they get together, they break up, they get together, they break up. And Howard decides he's going to propose to Bernadette at the Cheesecake Factory. And I will never forget watching this episode, and I couldn't get the damn song out of my head. And I think I called you and told you that. I'm like, this thing won't leave my head. It's an earworm. It's driving me nuts. But it's such an iconic scene, and it's so good.
Simon,
so guess what?
So good. Bernadette. He's so, oh my gosh, he's just so great.
I mean, and that's really him playing
on
the keyboard. He's that talented.
So wildly talented.
Yes.
And so like mind-blowingly talented.
Most people, like Penny, for instance, finds that song hideous and like, this is cringeworthy, it's embarrassing. No, Bernadette loves it.
I loved it. I loved that dynamic that they wrote about that relationship, that so many of the things that like you would think she'd have the opposite reaction. She just was enamored by him. And I think it was such these great little seeds they planted of just Bernadette seeing the true like heart beneath, who Wallace was. And I think it's also such a testament to Simon, because like, even though like, this is a guy who is like, more of this like, player or whatever early on, Simon just brings such humanity to everything that I think you wanted him to find love.
Do you remember the studio audience reaction after he finished that song?
Oh my gosh, I remember them just going wild.
Yeah.
It was, and I remember
I don't know what happened to my voice just there. I'm like,
yeah, they did.
This is what happens when I go, Bernadette. I have no voice the rest of the time. I'm like, whoa.
I remember them going so wild, applauding for this amazing performance of his. And and needing to sort of keep the energy of the scene still going while they were going nuts. And it's one of the things I love most about a live studio audience and a multicam are these moments that you find when you're holding for laughter or holding for applause. And it's sort of like riding a wave, and finding these moments in that laughter that you're not expecting. And I think some of like the most fun, like just these really fun little nuggets come in that breath that you're given from that audience reaction.
Okay, but now I really want to know though, what was it like wearing that Cheesecake Factory uniform? Because they don't wear those uniforms at the actual Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm trying to think that it was like early on.
It felt.
Was it? It was like, yeah, it was like a sweater and the shirt. I remember the shirt was like attached to the sweater. And then it had like I believe like a denim skirt under it, like that had of like, I just remember like a lot of
layers.
A lot of layers.
Okay.
A lot of layers, yeah. And then of course a Bernadette comfortable loafer.
Yeah.
But I'm always cold, and that was like a cap sleeve situation.
Right.
So I remember like needing like a big jacket like in between takes. Bernadette often wore like cardigans, which was helpful for being cold.
Okay, so what did you prefer? Bernadette in a lab coat or Bernadette in Cheesecake Factory?
Lab coat, for sure. Yeah. For sure, lab coat.
A little more room.
Yeah,
to move
exactly.
around.
Exactly.
Okay, you ready to play a game of firsts?
Yeah.
Since this was your first season and first few episodes.
Okay. Oh,
okay.
gosh.
Tell us, what is the first table read that stood out to you?
I mean, gosh, like definitely the first one, because I had never been to a multicam table read before, and just the energy was so great, and meeting everyone, that will be forever etched in my brain as just a really like core memory.
What was the first moment you felt the show's legacy?
Oh gosh. The show was already so it was pretty well established when I came on. So I already felt like I was stepping into something really special. But I sort of felt like I was watching it as a fan. I think the first time I realized that maybe I was there was two moments that I felt like, oh, am I a part of this? And more was like the first time that I sat on the couch and had Chinese food with the cast.
Yes.
That was like a really big
And
moment
Bernadette
for me.
almost sat in Sheldon's spot.
Yes.
And they had,
oh my gosh.
And then Penny had to be the one to explain to you why this was Sheldon's spot. And she did the whole monologue that Sheldon would normally do. And Bernadette's like, what?
Oh my gosh. Yes. That was when? That was like...
That was in season 3.
Season 3.
Yeah.
And then my first Comic-Con was like wild and also very, very surreal.
That was the same Comic-Con that you got into an elevator and a couple didn't recognize you, but they were dressed as you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I remember getting in the elevator. My husband was in there with me, and there was a couple dressed as Howard and Bernadette, and they came in and they're standing right in front of us. And they said something like, they asked me, I think, to hit their floor. If I remember correctly, it was something like that, and like not registering, and it was like Bernadette and Howard asking me, and then they got off the elevator, and then I remember the couple behind us were like, "That was crazy! They were dressed as you, and they didn't
Like, how did they not know that you were right there?
It was really funny. It's like someone like this is in the elevator, like, "Hey," but yeah, it's
like, I don't understand. I mean, I agree with
really
that couple
funny.
who was like, what just happened? I would just,
it was very, very trippy.
I would have run after them and be like, really? What's going on here? You've been on the sun a little too long today
really
because
funny.
you got the real version right
In
there.
fairness, I do like at Comic-Con, I feel like I look like a 10-year-old boy most of the time.
Oh,
like I'm in like a hat and I think I could sort of fly into the radar.
That's so funny. Okay, what was the first time that the audience reacted to Bernadette's scary side? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know if I remember an exact moment. I remember, I do remember filming the scene. This not season 3 though, where like when I did Mrs. Wolowitz's voice back to her for the first time.
Okay, yes.
And I remember screaming off camera for the first time.
I think the hospital scene when she had a heart attack.
Is that
season 4?
Okay. That I remember.
God, I'm scared about myself right now. It's okay.
Oh, please. I can't remember. But I remember that, like hearing that audience reaction and being really excited to get to play that.
Okay. Last question here. The first time you improvised something as Bernadette. I know the writers were great and you always stuck to the script, but was there anything you did that wasn't in there that you added and they kept?
I don't know. I really we were really I always wanted to be like super respectful of their amazing writing. So I don't know if I did. Okay,
let's try one more then. When was the first time a fan actually recognized you and didn't leave the elevator not knowing who you were?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think. I don't know that I have like an exact memory of it, but I do remember I remember early on being somewhere and hearing someone say like, is that her? And then I was like talking to my husband or something and they were like, no, the voice is different. I remember that happening at one point.
That's so funny. Yeah. I know people always ask me, is that her real voice? And I'm like, so funny. Do you think it's a real voice? I mean, it could be, but I'm like,
yeah.
It also changed a little bit.
It did.
The ended up getting and everything as the seasons went on.
Yeah, it sort of evolved.
Was that you, or was that something that they suggested?
I can't really remember. It sort of just like took on a life of its own.
Yeah. I mean, it really did. Yeah. And it was fantastic. Speaking of voices, I'm going to go work on mine because I don't know where this hoarse voice just came from.
It's I like it. It's very rock and roll.
Like, it's
super rock and roll.
I'm not a singer. It's not like I've been singing. I have no idea. Anyway, it is such a joy to have you here. Oh. You're going to come back for season 4.
I'm very excited
talk about the evolution of Bernadette Rostenkowski-Wolowitz, our favorite, nefarious, amazing, hilarious, lovely Bernadette.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Of course.
You really like being here.
Love it. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the official Big Bang Theory podcast. You can go back and watch all the episodes so far on HBO Max or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch Bernadette, Melissa Rauch, in all of her glory. All episodes of the Big Bang Theory are streaming on HBO Max. And I will see you next time.